Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am happy that you are here with me for this reading as we look into what fear may be holding you back. Please know that whenever you've clicked on this video, it is timeless, so it was meant for you at that point in your life. As we jump into the reading shortly, if there's any information that does not connect with you, please feel free to let that go. If there's information that you feel applies to your current situation or what you're feeling or going through at this point in your life, I would encourage you to open your mind to that and then continue to process that information after you are done watching the video. Before we get started, I would encourage you to take a few deep breaths. And as you inhale and exhale, let go of any tension within your body, tightness. As you're breathing, focus on letting go what may be heavy on your mind. And as you inhale and exhale, you can ask the universe or source if there are any signs or symbols for you to see during this reading. And let's begin. So tonight I'll be using several decks. The first one is the Tarot Illuminati. If you've watched my other videos, you've seen these cards. They are beautiful. They have great details in them. Very easy to receive messages from. I'll also be using Work Your Light Oracle cards and then the Heart Path Oracle cards. And for Oracle cards, the Heart Path as well has many symbols, a lot of deep meanings to them through the details. I just really enjoy that deck as well. If you're interested in any of these decks, please feel free to use the links that are in the description box below. So let's take a look at what fear may be holding you back. And I'm going to start with the Tarot Illuminati cards, tarot cards. The first one we have is Prince of Swords. Then we have Six of Swords. Two of Pentacles. Princess of Cups. The Hermit. King of Swords. And the High Priestess. So when we take a quick overview of just our tarot cards, there are swords, definitely three separate sword cards, which are action, justice, movement. You have two major arcana, which is the Hermit and the High Priestess. And then with our Pentacles and Cups, definitely that action, balance, choices, new ideas. So we'll go back through each one of them. So for the Prince of Swords, when we're just specifically looking at what fear may be holding you back with this card, it is an action card. It is a courage card, coming and answering the call when there is a call to action. So it could be right now in your life you have a fear of conflict. Maybe there is a situation that you fear speaking to or addressing because you are concerned about the reaction of the other person. This card here, definitely being on that horseback, having the armor on, excuse me, my friends, is really encouraging you to take a perspective of the situation, kind of that overview look, and prepare yourself, because there is something that does need to be said. You can see behind him, hopefully it'll come through, he's got his army and they're ready to go over here on the left side of the card. So there is support, whether it be from the angels or source or guides, for you to address what may need to be said. Also, when we think of that action, you know, that piece of solving situations, finding resolutions, in this card, war at that time, you may have a fear right now of a sudden change. Maybe there is an action, whether it be at work, home, relationships, travel, not to travel, that might bring a lot of change to you, and you fear that. You fear the unknown. And this card, again, with that sword, the full armor, the horses ready to go, this is encouraging you to pause and face that fear. Really look at what is the root cause of that fear, because life is, as we know, full of changes. Life is ebb and flow, tide coming in, tide going out when you think of the ocean. So this card could be encouraging you to consider what is the worst that would happen as far as that change, and then prepare yourself emotionally and mentally for that. And then if it doesn't really occur, then you're the better for it, because you've already prepared yourself for what you may consider to be the worst possible outcome. Our next card is our Six of Swords. You can see a woman and child getting ready to be ferried somewhere. When you look at the tarot card itself, it does mean change. It means a transition, going to something new, leaving the past, things in the past. The swords in that card are all pointing down, directly down, and that can indicate heaviness, a burden. So when you look at the opposite of that, for what fear could be holding you back, again, the unknown. She's setting out with her child. I think this individual is the ferryman. So that piece of, I don't know what's going to happen if I step out. I don't know what's going to happen if I make this decision. Going back to, I don't really know what's going to happen if I say something or address something that I know I've needed to address. Also, that piece of, you can kind of see here, her head is down, she's thinking, and the ocean there, the water is there. What's coming through for me on this card is that piece of fear, of that self-reflection, really looking inwards, or looking into a situation, and asking deeper questions, because you may fear the truth that may be revealed. Or maybe you already know the truth, you know what has happened, but you just fear addressing it with the individual, whether it's at work, in a relationship, partnership, friendship. This card here is saying, step out of that fear, step out of what is keeping you held back, and begin anew. You can kind of see here at the top is stormy weather, but out here is clearer. So this card is encouraging you to do that inner work, self-reflect, look at what you may need to set aside, your perspective, your beliefs, in order to address what needs to be said. Next, we have our Two of Pentacles. And this card is definitely that balance, making choices. You can see the infinity symbol around the pentacles, that ebb and flow, beginning and cycles of life, the beginning and completion. So when we think of this card here, you can see it in the ocean as well. Kind of, it's very active. The ships are kind of bobbling in the water. So it could be that you fear a new project, taking on a new project, accepting a new responsibility, whether it is in your community, in your job, in your church, if you practice faith, in your synagogue, mosque. It could be that you aren't sure if you can balance one more thing. And you have a fear of that because you might have a fear of failure. And this card here, he's definitely right on that water's edge. He's standing on one foot. He's got the 2 pentacles. The water is rough, and he's able to do that. So this card here is encouraging you to see what you may need to move around in your life. Is there something that you've seen almost to completion that you can hand off to someone else so that you can take on this new project or group to help or commit to, whether it's volunteering, whether it's leading a situation, a group to do something. And you could also have, when I think of the water and I see the boats kind of being pushed back and forth, going back kind of to that conflict, it could be that you are in a situation that is calling you to have a new perspective, is calling you to let go of old beliefs, those beliefs that may not serve you and your life and those around you any longer. When I think of ocean, again, it's that cleansing and the healing, the washing away. So it could be this card is calling you to let go of biases or perspective, and to be open to seeing a new perspective if there is a conflict. Or maybe it's just not full-on conflict, but a difficult conversation that you know you need to have. Our next card is our Princess of Cups. And with the Princess of Cups, when we think of the tarot, it's intuition, creativity, kind of bringing life to something, a project, activity, relationship, new ideas. So with this card, you may have a fear of beginning something new. And that's kind of coming through, friends, in these other cards, that transition, that change, stepping out into the unknown. That message is definitely coming through in this reading. Again, if it's connecting with you, please open your mind to receive it. If it's not at this point, there's still plenty of other cards in the reading. So I would encourage you to stay with me. But that message of change, stepping out into the unknown, the cards, what's coming through from Source is it's time to address that fear. It's time to let go of that fear that is shackling you to move forward. And in that Princess of Cups, she's also one that represents that inner work, really going in ourselves, reflecting what is old that we need to let go, what is holding us back, how can I live my purpose to a fuller level, what energy am I self-sabotaging, or what energy is in my life being sucked out of me. And so taking that time to do that inner work as we go through our days. It doesn't have to be where you have to map out a significant amount of time. It just could be throughout your day, when you're in your car, if you're stuck in traffic, if you are a commuter. Turn off the radio or put it on quiet just in the background, and think about that. Think about what in your life no longer serves you. Also, with that Princess of Cups, she is one of love. Cups itself, the suit is representative of love. So it could be in your life right now that you have a fear of accepting love. It could be that someone is trying to give you that love and you have held that person at distance, whether it's platonic or romantic. Could even be a work relationship where you're getting to know someone and it's a friendship and that person is really trying to extend themselves to you and you have a fear of that. Maybe you've been hurt in the past through love or through a platonic relationship, and it's hard for you to open up. And you have that fear because you fear getting hurt again. But as we look at this card, we're reminded that pain is a part of life. Let me clarify that, not consistent pain, not ongoing pain, not opening ourselves to be repeatedly hurt by someone. That isn't healthy. What I'm saying is, over the course of our life, pain is going to be a part of it. It's again, that ebb and flow of life. So this card here with the water, you can see the fish jumping out. She's bringing in life into a situation, into a relationship. This card here is indicating that if this is speaking to you, it is time to address that and see what it is that you can do to open up your heart. Whether it's, again, going back here, letting go, the Six of Swords, letting go of past concerns and allowing your heart to begin to open again. And it doesn't have to be instant. Sometimes it's a slow burn. I think of what's coming to mind is a percolator on the coffee pot. And it's that little slow drip, and that's okay. There's not a time limit on when we open our hearts to love or heal. What this is saying is just don't remain stuck there. So our next card is the Hermit. Again, one of self-reflection, taking the time to think, to look at your life, balances, imbalances. So with the Hermit, it could be that you fear seeking wisdom. Maybe you know there's an area of your life that you need assistance in, and taking that step may expose that area that you feel is weakness, or you feel would change someone or multiple people's view of you. And if you look at the card, he's holding a very bright light. Even his wand is shining at the end. So this is indicating that there will be light once you begin to pursue that. Even if it is difficult, you will be better off in the end. You will be able to, as we were saying before, give the energy to be who you are meant to be. It could be that you need to take some time alone for yourself in order to get to that place of seeking that wisdom, assistance, help, advice. Also, what's coming through with the Hermit is the aspect of maybe you fear being alone. And I'm not saying it's not difficult at times, friends. It can be. But maybe you're in a situation, maybe you've outgrown a relationship, a friendship. Maybe you are in an apartment with others and it is time for you to step out on your own. Maybe it is time for you to step out of your home unit, your family unit, if you are younger, even if you're older, and you know the time has come for you. But that fear of being alone is holding you back. The Hermit, you know, when we look at the meaning of the meaning, of the tarot card, it is taking that time to find that inner strength, to find that inner courage, to step out and face that fear of being alone. What, again, is at the root of that fear of being alone? With the Hermit as well, kind of going back to what's coming through is letting someone see the real you. I'm sensing, do you fear taking off that mask? Do you fear letting people know the real you, to see the layers that you have? Have you been wearing a mask too long? It's definitely coming through on this card, my friends. So if that's speaking with you, I would encourage you to kind of let that resonate, kind of sit and process that. Our next one is our King of Swords. And our King of Swords in tarot is definitely in control, has a plan, knows the goals. Again, another action card, putting things in motion. He has his sword in one hand, his arms are crossed, he's in a very steady posture. So being stable, having a stable career, relationships. So when we look at the fear side of King of Swords, do you have a fear of not being in control? Are you one that has a very strong need to control your environment? Different aspects, whether it's people, parts, you know, all the moving parts. And do you fear if you don't control it, then what's going to happen? You fear the outcome. And this card here is definitely saying, kind of going back again to the beginning, you know, the swords, kind of the repeated message of letting go, having that introspect, really knowing that it's okay to let go. And even maybe you're in a situation where you need to let go so that others can do. And the interesting thing about control is when we control, we move the pieces, the chess pieces is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. When we're constantly moving and maybe, you know, making sure this person does this or this person goes there, we aren't allowing those individuals to be their best self because we're telling them where to go. We're 2 steps ahead and then moving the pieces to meet the plan that we came up with. So this card here is definitely saying, you know, again with that sword, kind of that justice, that action to address that need of control, that need to make sure things go perfectly. Because nothing in life is perfect, my friends. There's going to be failures. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be, in some situations, a derailment or a side road. So I would encourage you, if this is speaking to you, again, take that time to think through that introspect as what the Hermit is representing in the regular tarot cards. Also with this, when we come to Swords and its justice, what I am sensing is if you are in a legal situation or in a relationship where you need more information, but you fear knowing the answer to that information, this card here with the King, I mean, he's stable, he's firm, he knows his goals. So it is encouraging you that if you fear the truth, to figure out what it is within you that will be in response to that answer. What is it that you need to address or have the courage or have the stability in order to hear that answer? If you are in a legal situation and this is saying pursue the information, know the information, but even if you fear what the answer will be, in the end, friends, even when we go through difficult situations, we don't see what's the point, why, what's the outcome. It may not be right now, but in maybe a couple of months, in a year from now, we look back and we go, oh, that's why that happened. That's what that was meant to help me learn and know. So if you're in that situation, seek the information and let whatever the answer be, and prepare yourself for that. The next we have is the High Priestess. And when we think of the High Priestess, vision, the spirituality piece of knowledge, seeking knowledge, wisdom, trusting that intuition. If you are looking for symbols, what's coming through here, there is clearly a letter of a B on the left and a J on the right. She has a scroll. So looking at fear and related to the High Priestess, maybe you have been questioning your intuition, that gut feeling, wondering, no, I don't think I can really trust it. No, I'm not really sure. Is this what I'm really feeling? Or maybe you have the gift or ability of intuition, but you've been afraid to step out in that. The High Priestess is here to say, seek that wisdom, trust that intuition, open yourself up to receive from Source, Universe, angels, your faith. Definitely encouraging you, if you have the fear of presenting new ideas, kind of going back to the Princess of Cups as well. You have an idea that you want to present to someone or pitch to a company or pitch to your boss, and you are afraid of rejection. This card here, definitely with the High Priestess, calling you to step out. Trust, even if it is rejection. It could be just for you to return to the table to look at where you can better the plan, better the idea, create even a better product. Maybe it's writing a book or writing a script, and you are fearful of putting it out there. This card here is saying, even in the fear of rejection, to go ahead and step forth in that. Use your intuition, use that courage, and step forth. All right, let's see what our next card is. This is from the Oracle cards. And it's the ever-evolving mystery. So for signs and symbols, my friends, I don't know the particular name. It almost looks, I know they're not, but at the top it's a set of lovebirds, like birds who mate for life or partner for life. There's two sets of swans. You can see the ones right here. Their heads are touching. There's a frog. There is a crab, a snail, beautiful, I think it's an iris or a lily in the middle. The stars, there's a heart shape in the trees. And the message on here is release the joy. And the main is the ever-evolving mystery. So mystery is a part of life. Unknown is part of life. And it is stepping out at times in that, blind faith per se, that blind unknown, but making the choice to take that step. And maybe you fear that. Maybe you fear going back to letting go, because there's times where we hold on to things from our past, or even maybe a current hurt that you're feeling, because we fear if we let it go, we're going to lose a piece of us because we've held on to it for so long. And this card here is to remind us to release the joy, let go of the past, so that you can release that inner joy, that inner happiness that is honestly longing to come forth. Maybe you are in a relationship, as this two sets of swans are indicating, as well as the birds, and you are holding back. You are having the opportunity to take that relationship on a intimate level, I'm not saying physically, but on that emotional, that deeper connection level, and you're holding back. This card here is indicating, take the time again to figure out what may be going on. There's roots deep down in the water. They're seeking their life source through that. So maybe just take some time for yourself. Take a break, exercise, take a walk, read a book, meditate, whatever it is for you that helps you center yourself before you take that next step. Also with this card, what's coming through is definitely the piece of accepting yourself. That heart in the middle up here, I'll show it again so that you can see it. It's right between the birds here. Accepting ourselves just as we are, friends. The way we are as well. None of us are perfect. We all have our flaws. We all have things we would like to be different within ourselves or change, whatever that possibility is. And you're wondering, should you? This card could indicate that. But what I'm receiving is that heart piece again, accepting ourselves for who we are right now at this point in our journey. So maybe you've struggled with that. It may not fully be a fear, but it's just something you can't quite get to. Actually, it's not a full, you can't see the point, but if you look at, there's the smaller one, and then you can see the beginnings of another one that would be completed, which is the bigger heart. And what I'm definitely receiving is when we take that time to love ourselves, accept ourselves, our heart, kind of like the Grinch, grows another size, even 2 sizes bigger, like the Grinch, because we are able to love ourselves more. And then going back to the beginning of this message, we're able to give more to that partner, to that relationship, to the community we serve, to the people around us, our family unit that we love and are with. And then at the bottom, what's coming through as well is the sun that is rising. So again, that positivity piece coming out of loving ourselves, caring for others, being willing to open ourselves up to take our relationship to that next level of emotional intimacy, that connectivity, kind of going back to those past hurts, friends, and letting go as well, so that we can be open to new things, bigger things. All right, our next card, interesting. And this is from the Work Your Light Oracle cards, and it says yes. Just say yes. I don't think it could be any clearer than that, friends. So love, again, I think I've said this in several of my readings recently. These cards are from different decks. And if you want to know more about how I receive these cards, feel free to read that in the description as well. But it's always interesting to me how they are from different decks, but they bring similar messages. They just connect that message and kind of hit it home if you're thinking of baseball as well. So here it is. Yes, just say yes to letting go of that fear, addressing the fear, stepping out, looking at ourselves, accepting ourselves the way we are, choosing to gain that wisdom and knowledge no matter what the answer is. Taking possibly back to Six of Swords, that step of possibly transitioning to something new, that new project without, even with, the fear of rejection. So here we go, friends. Just say yes. All right. Our next card is protection. So protection here, it says call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Wow. Summarizes the whole reading pretty much. And if you look at the individuals that are here, they have their arms kind of crossed in an X and in front of their kind of heart and their face. They're saying no more. Call back your power. Take back that strength. Let go of that fear. Say to fear, no more. I'm stepping into who I am, who I'm meant to be. I accept myself the way that I am. I'm cutting the cords of past hurt, even maybe some current hurt that you're dealing with as you're listening to this reading. I'm receiving the peace of my soul, my heart, that was taken or that I gave away, and I now need to take it back. And, you know, the overall message is that protection piece. What can you learn from this situation so that you know for the next time how to protect your heart, to protect your soul, to protect your energy, kind of going back to that Two of Pentacles. What is it that will help you do that and help that fear to stay at bay, at an arm's length or 2 arms length out? And last card, my friends, is deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, and be held. So we had spoken about that. Sometimes with our fear, it feels bigger than what it is in reality. And I speak from personal experience as well on that one. When we choose to be that hermit and do that inner work, the Princess of Cups, the High Priestess, it allows us to just, once we've worked through that, be at peace in our soul, be at peace in our spirit, to rest, because there's not that conflict. There's not, you know, the darkness of fear rising its ugly head. We're able to receive that being held, as the card said, just the quietness kind of wrapping itself around us, and our mind being able to shut down a little bit because we've said to that fear, enough, I'm done. I'm standing up, I'm moving forward, I'm making decisions, and we receive that deep replenishment throughout our body and our mind. So my friends, I hope this information is helpful. I hope that there are things that you feel you have received, you have connected with, that can allow you to be a better version of yourself, to continue on your life's purpose with greater energy, with greater focus, and really putting that fear to rest at this point in your journey. As always, my friends, love and light to you.